what means a talk from mine to market? First of all, thank you for coming and taking the time to listen to this. And of course, from mine to market was something that I'm confronted with almost on a daily basis when selling mineral specimens. Where do they come from and how do they get to here? What needs doing? And I think a lot of you and a lot of our clients that we have either in person or online are sometimes not aware what it takes and how it works. Now, I will not reveal all the secrets, of course, but at least a little snippet of what's happening and how things are working. So you are all probably aware that we have the several mines in the northeast of England. So like the Diana Maria mine. And what we want to do today is actually showing you how it started, how we began mining at the Diana Maria mine, how it started really with the idea of buying mineral collections are so boring. Ian, we need to buy a mine to mine our own mineral specimens. And I slowly ground him down. 5 years later, there was the opportunity. And then we decided to purchase and start mining at the Rogerley mine. And while we are bringing this up to modern standards of ventilations, mine regulations, and all of this, we started explorational work at the Diana Maria mine. So the picture you see on your right is a little bit later than when we started, but we will come to all of these a little later. So yeah, it gets you through the whole process of how do you get a fluorite specimen, in this case, market ready, and we brought you one. So to tell the story, and you can look at it, what's the cleaning and trimming, and how do you do sorting and pricing, and what are the market outlets. So once again, so we have our mines in the north of England right there, and that's an aerial view of the mine where you see also a bit later on the entrance to the mine and the mine cabins. So, and the little track right here is literally, there's the mine portal and here's the track. So when you have overburden, that's dumped over the side, but still keep it neat and tidy. So going forward, really, you see also the proximity. Where are the mines located within the Weardale? So you have the town of Rogerley, you have the Rogerley mine and the Diana Maria mine within the same quarry. And here's a very special mine, although no longer mined. It's the Lady Annabella mine. Yes, Bella's mine, exactly. So we can't forget that. So here you see the mine is situated in the Weardale, and I'm sure some of you have heard the story before. Why is it called Weardale? So you have the river Wear, and Dale is simply the old word from Dale, means valley. So Weardale with the river Wear. So how do you start? So obviously you need a very clever geologist that knows what they're doing. So Ian has known from the Rogerley mine that has been operated since the 1970s. But then he also said, well, the Diana Maria mine, which wasn't existing, so it was a surface project, needs to exist. So you have different orientations. So the Rogerley veins, the mineralized veins, are a north-south orientation, and you have Diana Maria mine with the Sutcliffe vein and the River Catcher vein, which is an east-west orientation. So I'm not going into too much of various details, but I wanted to just include this slide from one of our previous talks that Ian and I held, where you just see to visualize how does it look when you are underground or in a mine, and how would a geologist predict where do you find fluorides. So you have flats and vein structures where you then have the fluoride situated. So it is so I will break it down very, very simple and not very technically. So initially, when you're mining along strike and you're finding then the indicators that you're finding fluoride, you stop with all the heavy work, and then it's all handwork, and you're hoping to find nice little cavities. In the Diana Maria mine, they are all filled with really heavy, thick clay, and then extract the fluoride. So, and we are already straight into how does specimen mining work. So you have the specimen mining at, for example, the Rogerley quarry was existing or started in 1972 by Lindsay and Patricia Greenbank and Michael and Brenda Sutcliffe. Then it was taken on by UK Mining Ventures LLC, which was Cal Graber, Jesse Fisher, and their friend, Paul. And Paul, unbeknown to me, Paul, so hello. And UK Mining Ventures obviously then started work within the Rogerley quarry, so at the Rogerley mine, but also within the quarry. So Diana Maria mine is situated in the same quarry, but roughly three-quarters of a mile apart, and different vein orientations, north-south, east-west. And what we were hoping for, or what Ian was hoping for also, that they intersect. So once you meet, that you find something really cool, that the intersection of the veins will produce even gemmier crystals, bigger crystals, maybe even some different color combinations. And that is us in 2017. 2017, this is how Diana Maria mine looks. So really alongside, so you have open cast mining, you're mining on a cliffside, so it was an old limestone quarry, and in order to make it safe, so no big rocks dropping on your head, you're having an excavator brought in that strips the overburden back so that you are not in any danger, so you can safely mine. And there you see these really heavy, thick clay bands. Here you see it obviously outside within daylight. Once you're underground, you wouldn't see the daylight fluorescence, so it looks green. You have your headlamp outside. Woo, look at the blue. And 2017 was quite sort of, how do you say it? It's just as you expect. It rains every day, it's no sunshine, and you're mining, but you totally don't care because you're so in your element that you are mining fluorites. And this looks brilliant. The thought you can't describe, the rush that goes through your head and the exhilaration and the excitement once you're finding fluorites. But this looks great. Once you bring it home and maybe put it through a lab, you think, oh, not really what I expected, but it is all about the excitement while you're doing it. So the group of people that obviously helped us, here you have Pavel, who has a pocket named after him. You have my dad that has a pocket named after him. I just want to go one back. You have my dad pushing the wrong buttons. My dad, then you have Ian here. Many of you maybe know Marcus Walter. And help me out, Ian? Mike Berry. So there we go. So here you have a few examples of specimens that are mined in 2017. It's just to resemble, here we have the Frosterley pocket. Why Frosterley pocket? That is something we come to in a later slide. Again, we are still 2018. We have to make the call that mining above ground on a quarry face is no longer doable. So we have to come up with a solution. Ian, as the geologist with his team, deciding, okay, we need to put in a portal. So we strip it back, we put a steel frame in, and then moving everything underground mining. Now you have the ins and outs for mining. It is something that is really important to understand, that it doesn't matter if you find something. You have a team that's underground 5 to 7 days a week. You need compressors, you need fresh air pumped into the mine, you have timber expenses. So every meter costs you roughly $2,500 to $3,000. So you have overheads, they're running month in and month out, whether you're making a find or not, it's there. So it's not just a hobby where you think, oh, it's sunny outside today, let's have a look and mine for 3 hours. No, this is a commitment where you actually need to make it work and you need to guarantee those jobs. You're not sending somebody home and say, oh, next week, oh, we found something, come back into work. You're having those constantly. So these are the fun pictures. You even see Debbie made it once to the mine, you know. But these are the fun ones where you really see. We love to be also hands-on as much as we can or could, depending on whether you have the little mini me wanting to take your time, which is obviously not possible underground. So, but we loved mining and we love being underground. And then you're finding some really exciting things when you clean them up. You have these snow white calcites with fluorite poking out. These are like the top end pieces, but they are making 0.5% of your finds. You're not finding this all the time, day in and day out. It would be nice, but it's just not. So we have a little video. That's how it looks most of the time. Currently some construction on the main gates, and yeah, everything. I just
Here the ventilation is flowing.
Explaining how it looks, the quarry site. So we are opposite the Diana Maria mine entrance, and literally this is nice weather for probably autumn or early spring. So, but just recently, just 2 weeks ago, we had literally 3 feet of snow. So there's no way you're getting anywhere. So, and that is also, it's harsh. Mining conditions would be outside, but even getting there would be harsh. Underground, constant temperatures, probably around 7 degrees. So it's a very different experience also. So once it was open pit or surface mining, very seasonal mining process, getting it underground, all year round mining. And that is also something that you need to make the call on, but it is obviously expensive. You can do it all year round, but far more expensive with all the equipment that you would need. So Queen of Green is one of these first pockets where we thought, jackpot, what a pocket. Color, composition, size of crystals, there you really thought, wow, you're hitting it. Super pocket, super quality of fluorite, unseen for the area, so definitely the Queen of Green pocket. But again, you don't have these pockets all the time. And these, don't forget, are all these prime examples where you pick the best of the best from pockets that are mined. So, and it shows just as a snippet the variety of pockets that the mine is currently was able to produce, because most of these pockets are mined out, so no longer available. Some are, and you will find them in the showcases or showroom, but other pockets can be very small. So you might find something good, but it's only 50 pieces or 100 pieces that are worthwhile using. So again, how do we mine? You see various different, you have various different equipments. You need to make sure safety comes first, meaning you need to use timber and supports to support your overhead. So in order to go into the mine, you need to have it all timbered up so you can actually safely walk along. And then you only mining under a supported area. So that is a constant thing that needs to be checked. People need to be trained, that they know what they're looking for. So you can't just say, you go on. It is something that needs constantly revisiting. A video taken by Ian, you have a lime cone that drives out the overburden after an explosion was made to get the overburden out of the mine over the side. So that is how we get all the rubble, all the dead rock out of the mine to keep it clean and tidy. Then, once you have done this and you washed and you used your hand tools, you might find little cavities or bigger cavities like this. And there you see it nicely, how it is really sitting in these thick clay bands where you find the fluorite. And you can already see the distinct difference between the quality of this and the quality of that specimen. So we have to really also see that within these whole mining operations, it is a vast difference what you find. So this looks maybe from a geologist's point of view very interesting, but commercially hardly any value. So then it comes to how we do it. So once you find it, you pack it, you put it in trays, and you need to store it. And then it comes to the point, what do you do with all the minerals you find? So we have our showroom is down in Somerset, so we fast-tracked this specimen just to visualize what it takes. So we are northeast, specimen travels 350 miles or 6 hours down south, and then normally you would wait until you had significant stock and can put it on a pallet, have that hauled down so that you're not driving every single rock or constantly cars back and forth. So there you go. There is the specimen, this specimen. So there you see it. It is fresh out of mine, basic cleaning, and there it is how it looks now. So we're driving it It will just arrive at the lab. So that is normally not how we transport specimens, but it's just making sure that these arrive safe. So courtesy and with the help of Georgie, you know, we can get exclusive footage how specimens arrive. So now, you've seen the specimen was much, much bigger when we first got it than what you see here. So what happened? Now, Chris will take it out, and you see he checks it out. What's happening? How does it look? What could we do with it? So he decides, well, we need to trim the mother rock a little bit off. So you're using a saw blade. There we see him going to the machine. And it's some basic trimming to make sure that you get a sellable specimen. So very carefully. So don't forget, it's all fast-tracked. It's normally not going everything that fast. So we're doing this on a very, very he has checked it out. He has made a plan, consulted Ian. What does he think? So that everything is going well. So yes, so there we go. Speed up the process and we're almost done. So that is how a first basic trim would go. So you're checking out what is usable and what is not usable. So just to have the specimen. Then you give it a wash. Obviously quite clear. You're not using boiling hot water. You're not using ice cold water. As we all know, that will not be going down well with any mineral specimen. So just to see what we have. So he's checking again. Could you do anything more under the water? Certain areas could be washed a little bit more intensely. So their distance is important. You don't want to blast those crystals off. So, and then you go into the fine trimming. Now you saw this was still a pretty rough rock, so you're going a little bit into the fine trimming. So we have just gone a little bit details. So you're just trimming a little bit off the sides so that it's looking a little bit neater and tidier and making it not so rough and ready. And then you just blow a little bit of air just to give that extra gloss. And there you go, it's drying. So we are going from this out of the mine with a little bit of basic cleaning to this, what you're seeing now in your cabinet here. So the finished specimen. And then how does it get to Tucson? So there we go. So that's also quite important. I walk out of the door, bought a plane ticket for me and the specimen, and off we go. There we are at Heathrow, there we are mid-air. So, and then just like this, we're here in Tucson. So magic, you know? So, and then obviously this is quite all fun and games, but how do you actually get to the point that you have a sellable product? So you come up with ideas how we can make sure that our clients know there are different products, different fluorides. So Ian is always very, very good in creating and finding names. So you have certain pocket names, and then you thought about really making them pop by creating these great labels. So you're having labels like the honey bear. So the honey bear is a really nice yellow colored fluoride. So honey bear with the fluoride specimen right in his honey pot. You're having a truffle pick. So they're going really fun stories also with each and individual of these pockets, which surely we can touch on in another talk, but not today. So it's all about also then having this look. We have the Papa pocket. Why is it the Papa pocket? It's Opa, really. So my dad helped us in May 2019 mining a particular pocket. So Ian said, well, it should be really called the Papa pocket. Therefore, you have a Papa pocket. Why do we have a Weardale Heather pocket? The first time we found purple fluorite, reminding us of the purple heather fields. And there you go. You have purple heather. Oh, Weardale Heather, sorry. truffle pick, there you go. So Simon, at that point, like a truffle pick in the floor, looking for the fluorites, and there you have a truffle pick pocket. And then here we're just having...
So here we are. We earlier talked to Simon about the truffle pickpocket, and this is how it all started. So right down here is the start of what we know today as the truffle pickpocket. So Simon found it in the floor. There's a massive hole underneath here, which we obviously backfilled for stabilizing reasons. And then we had to decline, so meaning we drove all the way back, decline, so we can approach it from the other side. But that hole there in the ground is how truffle pick started.
So then we have the greedy hog pocket. So there you have the greedy hog pocket. So wonderful combinations with Galena. And again, so it's just about certain namings, then mapping it out. So on our little booklets, how do you have other products? Not everything looks brilliant. Not everything is the top-end rock. Like I said before, maybe 0.5% are like this. So what do you do with other minerals to encourage and maybe finding markets? So you develop products. So we're having our wonderful little cluster flats. We have budget flats. We have different sized mineral flats, do different products, put them together. So really making sure you're making your product usable because you have these mining bills to pay day in and day out. So, and then you think about, what could I do with these broken crystals? So this is how the jewelry came to be. So they were too good to just let them fly under the radar. So we thought, why could we not do something like jewelry? So to round off the program, we decided to get into the jewelry making, and there we are a few years later after lots of research and trial and error, and we have a jewelry line that we can present alongside our fluorites. So husbands don't need to feel so guilty when they buy the 5th Diana Maria mine rock, because they can buy their wives the necklace as well. So, and then you're looking at where's the market. So you're looking at your B2B and B2C markets. So B2B is your reselling client and B2C is your end customer client. So that's why we are present at international or local mineral shows. We are doing a face-to-face trade, or we're going to the various outlets online, whether that is Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. That is really how you develop it. And then I just thought this was just a few facts and figures, sort of how did it came to be from mine to market. So you eventually have the Weardale limestones that date back 419 to 358 million years. And fast forward 2017, Ian and Diana decided to dig a hole in the mountain and figure out to take the fluorites. So of course that's all very sugar-coated and it's far more complicated and takes far more research and also the needed financial commitment to do this. And then you get wonderful little twins. So I just threw in the variety of specimens to show. So this is the hidden forest pocket with these lovely small twins that are really, really a popular seller. To round off the program and to make your customers aware of what you have, you come up with these wonderful publications. So, and we can't do one every year, but we're trying to, depending on what's found, what are the news, is there new projects coming. So those are just examples for the UK mining fluorite production in the northeast of England. So are there other projects? Then we could do other publications. The future will tell. And of course, it's all not possible without a great team behind you. So I have the easy part. I'm just selling, you know? So the rocks are finished, I put them in a case, and I have the easy part of selling them. They are all ready. I'm just saying there and saying, well, it's a really good mineral. You should really buy this. But it needs Ian, who is the instigator and made it all happen. He always has a vision about things, as you can see with the gallery, extension of his mind. So he saw the potential, he sees the project, and he makes it happen. So he is the driving force in all of this. You have Debbie, who then jiggles the number and says, Ian, we really can't do this. Yeah, Debbie, we can. Okay, we will. I make it work. So you have a very wonderful, hardworking mine manager in Vitek Urbanski. So you have someone on the ground in the mine, day in and day out, that keeps everything working, running smoothly. So it is really important to have someone that's in charge. You have the team in the lab. So here you have our lab guys. So it is a team of the boys that really are working hard, making the rocks look great. So they are washing them, they're cleaning them, they're sorting them. You have a media team behind it. So you have, to your right is Olga, that takes the wonderful photographs to make the booklets look great and the photographs in the booklets look great. You have Jonathan, who does the booklets and the layouting. So he's doing all the social media work, puts the artwork together. So that is also really important. You have Georgie and Carl that do then take care of shipping the orders to clients once they are sold. And you have a future generation like Bella that is helping sorting. She is sorting and picking up what the miners might have missed. And very important, you have your emotional support cat that helps you out. But so that is really what is necessary. So I thank you all. And if you have any further questions, then I'm happy to answer them. But like I said, it is a whole team that's necessary, that believe in you and that see that they want to make things happen, and not just one.